Missing someone. Missing someone. Missing someone. Love with all your heart. Missing someone.
About this abandoned theme park that's haunted? There was a theme park in Mexico made after Disneyland in 1988. The park only stayed open for a few years, but then closed. 30 years later in 2018, a YouTuber was exploring the park and entered it, discovering this Snow White statue. It didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary, although when the group began to head out, this was captured. It looks like something was moving in the distance. Upon further inspection, they found the Snow White statue from the front of the park. Now it's here near the back.
Notice something kind of off about this mannequin? For anyone who's familiar with the legend, she is known as La Pascualita. The mannequin has stood in the window of a Mexican bridal shop for more than 90 years, but when she was first placed there, patrons noticed something kind of strange. The detail work on this mannequin was unusual. She was noted with eyebrow hair, veins, and even discoloration around her mouth and ears. But that suspicion soon grew to horror as patrons started to notice that she bore a striking resemblance to the owner's deceased daughter, Pascuala. Pascuala was actually set to be married herself, but ended up dying in a tragedy before her wedding day. Shortly after her death, the mannequin appeared in the window and the legend was born that these were the preserved remains of the owner's daughter. But the most compelling evidence has always been the hands. The hands are shown with wrinkles, they have veins, they even have lifelike fingernails, which is unlike any mannequin I have ever seen. The question remains to this day, could this
really scary story, but if you're planning on going to Mexico, I would really listen up. My friend was just in Cabo for a bachelorette party and they left the resort to go on a shuttle from the resort to this really touristy area. On their way back, my friend's sister and friend got on a shuttle from a guy who was wearing a uniform from the shuttle to go back to the resort. They get in the car and they're driving for a minute and then the car stops and pulls over and there was a cop car and the guy that was driving the shuttle paid the cop. So the cop was obviously in on this. They then realized they speak Spanish. So they were talking to the guy. They were like, why did you just pay the cop? What's going on? The guy was completely ignoring them. He was just driving the shuttle. Then they realized that there were no door handles in the shuttle. This is so scary even saying this. So they're freaking out. They start literally kicking and screaming. They're kicking his chair. They're screaming. They're like, let us out of the car. Let us out. The guy's ignoring them completely. So they jump in the front seat basically and escape. They jumped out of the car through the front door. Thank God they're okay. And thank God they got out of this car. They somehow made it back to the resort. But the scariest thing is that my friend's fiance called the embassy and was like telling them what happened. And the embassy was like, sir, this is a no-fly country. Not a no-fly. This is a no-travel country right now. And we can't do anything about it. So God forbid something were to happen to them. There'd be nothing that could have been done. That is insane. So if you're going to Mexico anytime soon, just be very careful and like, maybe don't go.
When I was 5, I went to Mexico to visit my aunt. There was a room that no one ever entered. My mom never told me why, but no one ever entered that room since my grandpa died. Anyways, when me and my mom stayed over, I was home alone with my cousins while my mom and my tia went to the store. My cousins were asleep and I was watching TV. And then I see the door open and something peek inside the door. I got so scared. I went out and went upstairs. After that, I never saw anything again. My tia eventually had to move because my cousin was getting attacked and it was getting really bad. She was getting scratches. My cousin even had to get surgery. Now they moved and everything's better. They still don't know what's behind that door.
So the thing about La Llorona is that she can come out whenever, mostly in particular at night. She decides to come out and cry for her kids. Now, they say that La Llorona comes out and when she sounds very near, she's actually pretty far. But when she's sounding far, she's actually very close to you. So tell me y'all, have you ever heard La Llorona? So the thing about La Llorona is that she can come out whenever, mostly in particular at night. She decides to come out and cry for her kids. Now, they say that La Llorona comes out and when she sounds very near, she's actually pretty far. But when she's sounding far, she's actually very close to you. So tell me y'all, have you ever heard La Llorona?
Have you guys heard of the Night Lady? This all started in Chihuahua, Mexico, 2009. Residents started noticing something really disturbing. You see, now some of the children in the area were going missing. I gotta grab some food for this one. Look at this beautiful roll. Now with all the children around the area going missing, people started reporting seeing a woman. They said she would climb on the rooftops during the day, only to wait till night to sneak in through the window to snatch children. Police then sketched an image of what they believed to be the Night Lady. Only one child has been reported of actually escaping the Night Lady. You see, his parents had ran into the room and caught her just in time. She quickly then escaped and crawled out of the window. Wait, before I continue, let's say the Night Lady had taken you. Your third act has to come and save you. Who is it? Let me know who it is. Anyways, the kid that got away recounted waking up in the middle of the night and seeing the Night Lady standing over top of him, just watching him. People have brushed this off as just one big hoax until after midnight, a teenage girl had captured this photo. This is supposedly the Night Lady.